everyone. Now let us discuss what is trial balance, how to prepare trial balance, what is a rule for trial balance, what are the formats of trial balance, and let us discuss all this. If you watch this video, surely you are going to get thorough knowledge on preparation of trial balance. Let us see what is trial balance first of all. Trial balance actually is very important for every business to prepare, because actually accounting book starts from journal onwards. So in journal we record journal entries, and later on all these journal entries are posted into the ledger accounts, and with the help of the ledger account balances, businessman prepares trial balance. If he prepares trial balance, he will be knowing whether any mistakes are there in the accounting books before preparation of trial balance. He will come to know about the mistakes, errors or any frauds in the accounting books only if he prepares the trial balance. So trial balance actually is prepared to know accuracy, authenticity of all accounting books. And not only that, if businessman maintains the trial balance, he can prepare final accounts also with the help of the trial balance. Final accounts are compulsory, mandatory for every business to prepare, because businessman must know profits or loss during the accounting period, and next he has to prepare balance sheet also to know the financial position of the business. And that is why if he wants to prepare final accounts, definitely he prepares, but if he wants to prepare, he has to take the help of trial balance only. So then only he can prepare final accounts. So that is the importance of trial balance. Okay, and let us actually know the rule of the trial balance. If we want to prepare trial balance, compulsorily we must know the trial balance rule. If we don't know that, we can't prepare it. We will make definitely mistakes in preparation of trial balance. Let us know the rule of trial balance. I have given rule here, you can see. And here in trial balance, some items will be debited, some items will be credited. So what items we have to debit, what should be credited? That actually will be done with the help of the rule only. There is a debit rule and credit rule for the trial balance. Let us see what is that rule. So debit rule. So we should debit what items actually? So debit all assets and expenses. So we have to debit all assets. Assets, if any item is an asset for the business, we should debit it. Expenses also, there will be so many expenses for the business, so all expenses also we have to debit, and not only these two items. So you may get a doubt, then what is a list of assets? I have given, okay, you can check it, I will show that. And expenses list also I gave, but it depends upon business to business, but if any item is an expenditure, we should debit it. Not only assets and expenses, we should debit some other items also. What are those items? Purchases. You can see the debit rule. I am continuing that. Purchases, sales returns, drawings, bad debts, depreciation also should be debited. So these are all items we have to debit, ma. Okay, students, you concentrate on the debit rule. So what we should debit? We should debit all assets and we should debit all expenses also. And list of assets, list of expenses I have given. You can refer that. You can refer that list later. And not only those two, purchases, sales returns, drawings, bad debts, depreciation also should be debited. Okay. And you have to remember this rule compulsorily to prepare correct trial balance. So if you remember this, you never make any mistakes in preparation of the trial balance. Let us see what is a credit rule also. So credit always will be credit always is denoted by CR. CR means credit. So what we should credit to prepare the trial balance? Credit all liability. So what is the credit rule here? Credit all liabilities. Our credit rule is credit all liabilities and incomes. We should credit all liabilities and incomes. Then you may get it out. What are liabilities then? I gave liabilities list also. You can go through that so that easily you can identify the liability. So credit all liabilities and incomes. We should credit all incomes also. We should credit all incomes also. Incomes. What are incomes? If business receives anything, that will become an income for the business. So all incomes we have to credit. And next, not only liabilities and incomes, some other items also will be credited. What are those items? Let me read those. I am continuing that. You can see the credit rule. Sales, purchase returns, capital, reserves, funds, provisions. These also should be credited. So we should credit liabilities, we should credit incomes. Not only those two, we should credit some other items also. What are those? Sales, purchase returns, capital, reserves, funds, provisions. These all items we have to credit. This is a trial balance debit and credit rule. If you know this rule, easily you can prepare the trial balance. It is very simple. It will become very simple task for you to prepare the trial balance. So let us see what is the list of assets and liabilities and what is the list of expenses and incomes. So let us move to the next one. And before going into the list of assets and liabilities, let us take pro forma or format of trial balance. You already know that if you want to prepare anything in accounting books, we should draw a format. So what are the formats for this trial balance? There are two formats. We can follow any one format we can follow. So both are correct. Any one format we can follow. So first format is debit amount, credit amount. You can see the first format, debit amount, credit amount. So if any item is going to appear under debit, we should record under debit. Okay, and amount in the amount column. If any item is going to appear under credit, then we should record under credit and amount in the amount column. So that is the first format. Let us see the second format. Second format is particulars, LF, debit, credit. So under particulars, even it is a debit item or credit item, we should record under particulars column only. LF column always empty. LF means ledger folio. And if whatever item we recorded under particulars column, if that is going to be debited, then we should record amount under debit. And if the item is going to be credited, record the item under particulars column only, but amount should be recorded under credit. Hope this is clear. Okay, if any amount is going to appear under debit, record under debit, and in the particulars column you record the item, but amount in the debit column. If item is going to appear under credit, item name you record under particulars, but amount you should write under credit. Okay, so this is a second format. Let us go and see what are actually assets and what are liabilities. Let us take assets list. So assets, I'll read the assets. These all are assets, students. These all are assets for the business. You remember the list so that it will become very easy for you all to prepare the trial balance. Let me read all those assets. Land and buildings, plant and machinery, furniture and fittings, leasehold premises, sundry debtors, bills receivable, cash in hand, cash at bank, investments, goodwill, patents, copyrights, trademarks, closing stock, government bonds, fixed deposit. Not only fixed deposit, any other deposit, any bank deposit. It may be saving deposit, fixed deposit, or bank deposit. So all deposits are assets, ma. Remember, students, all deposits are assets for the business. This is a list of assets. You have to remember this list so that you can identify the asset easily. So in the question they give so many items, we have to pick the assets. If you are able to identify the asset, you have to apply the rule for that. Assets we debit, no, you can write under debit. That's it, very simple. Okay, let us move to liabilities list also. And here the liabilities list. So liabilities, I have given 5 liabilities here. I'll read those liabilities. Capital, bank overdraft, bank loan, sundry creditors, bills payable. So these are liabilities. If you see liability, you have to credit the liability, because our trial balance rule is credit all liabilities. If you observe these items in the question, so that should be credited, because our rule is that liability should be credited. We have to record under credit. Okay, so let us move to next one. You have to remember liabilities list also, students. And here I have given list of expenses and list of incomes. I mentioned list of few incomes and few expenses, and this will be useful for you in doing problems. First one is a list of expenses. I am reading list of expenses. Salaries, postage charges, rent paid, advertisement expenses, discount allowed, insurance, wages, interest paid, selling expenses, commission paid, transport charges, carriage, and etc. So this is a list of expenses, and if you find these items in the question, you have to debit it. Okay, because what is our trial balance rule? All expenses we have to debit. So if you find these items in the question, you have to debit it. These are expenses, and expenses may vary from business to business, but whatever items actually in regular business they actually spend on expenses, that list I mentioned here, you can follow that. And here we have right side, we have list of incomes. So what are the incomes actually for the business? I'll read those items and you can concentrate on that. Rent received, interest received, discount received, commission received. These all are incomes. Okay, here business is receiving everything. If business receives anything, that is a income. Okay, and what is our trial balance rule? All incomes we have to credit. Income should be credited. If you find any item like this, you have to record under credit whenever you prepare trial balance. Hope this is clear. Let us move to next one.
Let us discuss solutions for few problems in preparation of trial balance. Let us read question. There is a question here, that is, from the following balances, prepare trial balance of Manasa as on 31st December 2013. So here they have given some amounts and some items, and we have to prepare trial balance for those all items. And I have explained already that how to prepare trial balance, what are the formats that we are going to follow for preparation of trial balance, and I explained rules also. Let us apply all those now. So let us see how to prepare trial balance. If you observe here, in solution I have taken format like this: debit amount, credit amount. This is a format that I took here. So on the top I have written trial balance as on 31st December 2013. So this is a format, and here we have to see the question. and all these items should be recorded under proper one, either on the debit or on the credit. So let us see how to record all those. First one is cash. Cash is asset. Cash is asset. So I told you all that all assets should be debited. So whenever we prepare trial balance, I have given debit rule as well as credit rule. So debit rule. What is a debit rule? Debit all assets and expenses. And not only that, we have to debit some more items. Purchases, sales returns, drawings, bad debts, depreciation. These all should be debited. So cash is asset. Cash, cash in hand, cash balance. These all are assets. So since cash is an asset, we have to debit it. Okay. Since cash is an asset, we have to debit it. So I recorded under debit. Cash 24,000. So this 24,000 I recorded here. Okay. And next, sales. Sales. It is there in the rule itself. Sales is there in the rule itself. So next one is salaries. And it is there in the rule itself. I have given in the rule itself. Sales we have to credit. If you see the rule, then sales should be credited. Okay. So that is why I recorded here sales under credit. Sales under credit. Okay. 30,000. Next, salaries. Salaries is expenditure. So salary is always expenditure for the business. So if it is expenditure, we have to debit it. That is why salaries I recorded under debit. So under debit, salary is 15,000. And next one is creditors. Creditors is liability. You can check the list. Okay, I have given all assets list as well as liabilities list, expenses, incomes list also. So creditors is liability. So liabilities should be credited. So that is why creditors are recorded under credit, 10,000 rupees. Next, capital. Capital, it is a liability and we should credit it. And I have given in the rule also, capital should be credited. You can refer the rule, trial balance rule. So capital should be credited. So we should record under credit, capital. And next one is purchases. Next one, purchases. So purchases also I mentioned in the rule that we should debit purchases while preparing trial balance. So that is why I recorded purchase also under debit. Purchases under debit 40,000. And next one, debtors. Debtors is an asset. Debtors, asset always. So debtors, since it is asset, we have to record under debit. Debtors 25,000. Okay. So now we recorded all items under proper one, debit as well as credit. So next we have to total it. In case of trial balance, total should be done. Okay. So here if we total both the sides, we should get same total. Okay. We should get same total both the sides. So here I am getting 1,04,000 and here also 1,04,000. So both the sides totals are same. Okay. So this is how we prepare trial balance. If totals are same, we can say that there are no errors in the accounts which are prepared before trial balance. If the totals are not tallying, not same, then we can say that there are some mistakes in the accounting books that should be rectified. So that is the use of preparation of this trial balance. If you prepare trial balance, I said in the beginning that business will come to know about the errors, mistakes, frauds in the accounting books. How? If totals are not same here, then definitely there are some mistakes in the accounts. Then they will go back and they will rectify that. Okay. So that is a use of preparation of this trial balance. So I'll show the question and answer both once. And this is a question. And next, this is a solution. And hope you understood this. So completely you can see question and answer. Okay. So let us discuss next question, second one. This is a second question, that is, from the following balances, prepare trial balance of Ramu as on 31st December 2013. So we have to prepare trial balance as on the date. Some items are given here. So we have to take each item and we should record under proper one. That is, whether it should be debited or credited. We have to decide. So how we should decide? By taking into account our trial balance rule. So I have given no rule. So we have to consider the rule and we should apply that rule and we should decide whether these all items are going to appear where, either on debit or on credit. We have to decide that and we should record under proper head. Okay. So let us see. So here first item, capital. Capital, it is given in rule itself. Okay, I mentioned in the rule itself. Capital should be credited. So that is why capital is recorded under credit. 28,000. Next, bills payable. Bills payable is liability. Bills payable is liability. So if it is liability, it should be credited according to our rule. That is why bills payable is recorded on credit, 13,000. Next, bills receivable. So bills receivable is asset. If you know the list correctly, properly, okay, if you learn it, then you will understand and you will identify the items properly, fastly. So bills receivable is asset. So bills receivable, if it is asset, according to the rule of trial balance, we have to record under debit. Okay. And next, furniture, 35,000. Furniture is asset. Furniture is asset. So if it is asset, we have to record under debit. Because according to our trial balance rule, all assets should be recorded under debit only. It should be debited. That is why I recorded furniture under debit, 35,000. Next, purchases. Purchases, I mentioned in the rule itself. Purchase we have to debit. So purchase you have to record under debit, 36,000. Next, sales. I mentioned in the rule. If you refer the rule, you will understand. Okay. So sales we have to credit. We should record under credit, 40,000. Next, sales returns. Sales returns 1,000. Sales we credit. Sales returns we should debit. Okay. Remember that sales always we have to record under credit. Sales returns we should debit. Purchases we debit. Purchase returns we credit in trial balance. So let us take sales returns. I said that we should debit. We should record under debit. So it is there under debit. Sales returns under debit, 1,000. Now we recorded all the items under proper one. And next, our step. Our duty is to do totals, both the sides, debit as well as credit, and it should be same. If it is same, then we can say that all the accounts prepared before preparation of this trial balance are correct. No mistakes, no errors, no frauds in the accounts. If totals are not same, we can say that there are some mistakes in accounting books. So here total, if I do totals, I am getting 81,000 here. And credit total is 81,000. Both the sides same total. Hope this is clear for everyone. I'll show question as well as answer once. I'll zoom it. So see here. This is a question. And next, we did solution for that here down. On the top, I mentioned trial balance as on 31st December 2013. Whatever is given in question, that same date, we should record. See both at a time. Hope this is clear for everyone. Let us move to next question now. Next question, third one. Prepare trial balance of Suchitra as on 31st December 2015 from the following balances. So they asked us to prepare trial balance. So we should draw columns first. Format is very important. We have to draw format first. So this is a format. Debit amount, credit amount. On the top we should mention trial balance and the date, whatever is given in the question. So that date should be mentioned as on 31st December 2015. Okay. And next we should see the items, whatever are given here, and we should record under proper one, either on debit or on credit side. Let us see the items and let us record under proper one. So how to decide? I told the rule. We have to follow the rule, and by following the rule we have to record under debit as well as under credit. So cash in hand. Cash in hand is the first item. Cash in hand is first item. So cash in hand, that is asset. Cash in hand is asset. And according to our trial balance rule, all assets we have to debit. So that is why I recorded cash in hand under debit. See, cash in hand under debit, 4,000. Next, debtors. Debtors, sundry debtors, both are same. Debtors, sundry debtors, both are same. So debtors, asset, always asset. So all assets we have to record under debit only in the trial balance. So debtors I recorded under debit. Why we should record under debit? Because what is our rule? That assets we have to debit in trial balance. So debtors is asset, that is why I recorded under debit. 12,000. And next, opening stock. Opening stock. Stock is asset always. Stock is asset always. So assets again we should record under debit only. That is why opening stock also is recorded under debit. And next, purchases. So it is there in the rule itself. Directly I have given. So purchases we have to debit. You can see the rule. Purchases, sales returns, depreciation, bad debts. This all we should debit. Okay. Purchase we should debit. That is why I recorded under debit. 15,000. Purchases under debit 15,000. Let us see next item. Buildings. Buildings also is asset. Buildings, furniture, machinery, these all are assets. So assets we have to record under debit. Debit. Okay. That is why buildings are recorded under debit. 36,000. Next is sales. Sales we should record under credit. It is there in the rule itself. We should record under credit. So sales under credit. 23,000. Next, capital. Capital also we should record under credit. I have given directly in the rule. If you see the rule, you will understand it. So capital we have to credit. 45,000. Next, bills payable. Bills payable is liability. Bills payable is liability, students. So bills payable, if it is liability, according to trial balance rule, all liability should be credited. So we should record under credit. That is why I recorded bills payable under credit. 7,000 rupees. All items finished. Then let us move to solution and let us do totals here. If I do totals here, I am getting debit total as 75,000 and credit side also 75,000. Both the sides totals are same. Okay. So hope this is clear for everyone, and I'll show the solution as well as question once. See, this is a question and this is a solution. I'll show both at a time completely. You can see that question as well as solution. Okay. Let us discuss next question now. This is fourth question. Here you can see prepare trial balance of Dr. Chilumula Srinivas from the following balances as on 31st December 2018. So if you see here, prepare trial balance of Dr. Chilumula Srinivas from the following balances as on 31st December 2018 is given. So here they mentioned some items in the question, and we should pick the items and we should record under proper head. It may appear either on debit or on credit side. Okay. Let us see whether it will appear under debit or under credit, and let us discuss it. So first one, buildings. Buildings are asset. Buildings always asset, and there is a rule here, trial balance rule. We should debit all assets. Since buildings are assets, we have to record under debit only. Okay. So let us write under debit. So buildings under debit 80,000. Okay. And next one, debtors. Debtors are also assets. Debtors also assets, and all assets we debit. That is why we can record these debtors also under debit 60,000. Next one, general reserve. Reserves, funds, provisions we credit. See here, credit. What we should credit? All liabilities and incomes. Sales, purchase returns, capital, funds, reserves. So funds, reserves and provisions also we should credit. Here what we have? General reserve. It is reserve. So we should credit it. It is reserve. So it is any reserve. It may be general reserve, specific reserve or any other reserve. All reserves we have to credit. That is why general reserve is recorded under credit. Because we followed the rule. We followed the rule. Okay, reserves we have to credit, no. So that is why we followed the rule and we are recording under credit. And next, bank deposits. Bank deposits, any bank deposits. It may be fixed deposit, saving deposit, any deposit. All bank deposits are assets. So assets we debit. That is why recorded under debit. 1,20,000. And next one, bad debts provision. Provision, just now I have shown. That is credit. Provisions. Provisions also we credit. So this bad debts provision we record under credit. Okay. 27,000. Insurance. Insurance is expenditure. Insurance is expenses. So all expenses we should record under debit only. That is why insurance 10,000 is recorded under debit. Next, packing charges. Charges always are expenses for the business. So all expenses we debit. You see, I mentioned in the rule. Debit is what? Debit all assets and expenses. So that packing charges also are expenditure. That is why I am recording under debit. Next, creditors. Capital. Capital, it is given in the rule itself. You can see capital should be credited. We should credit. So capital is recorded under credit. 1,50,000. Okay. Next, creditors. Creditors is liability. So liabilities we have to credit. We have to credit liabilities. Okay. So I recorded creditors also on liabilities side. Creditors under credit because it is liability. That is 50,000. Next, bad debts. Bad debts 15,000. Let us see the rule. Debit. Yeah, bad debts. Bad debts. We should debit. So bad debts I recorded under debit. Okay, 15,000. And all items finished here. And next let us do totals. Let us do totals here. So totals both the sides. 2,97,000 debit and credit total also 2,97,000. Both the sides totals are same. Okay. You can see solution completely here. Next question also you can see here. You can see question also completely, and you can see it completely, both the question as well as solution.
This is a rule. Already I mentioned rule in the beginning. So you can copy that rule and you can learn that so that it will become easy for you while doing solution. Let us go and discuss next question. Fifth question. Prepare trial balance of Sudha from the following particulars. So they asked us to prepare trial balance and we should keep all the columns ready. Format should be ready. Okay, this is a format, debit amount, credit amount, and trial balance are recorded because date is not mentioned in the question. That is why I recorded trial balance. If suppose date is given in the question, we should write trial balance as on particular date. So how we recorded in the previous problems, in the similar way you should record. Let us see the items. Opening stock. Stock is asset. Student, stock is asset always. So assets we should debit. Assets we should debit. Assets we should debit. Okay. So let us write opening stock under debit only. Opening stock under debit 22,000. Next item. Bills payable. Bills payable is liability, students. Bills payable is liability. So liabilities we have to credit. That is why bills payable is recorded under credit. Okay, 4,000. Next one is bills receivable. Bills receivable is asset. All assets we have to debit. Okay, that is why bills receivable is recorded under debit. Here, debit. And next, purchases. Purchases, it is actually I mentioned directly in the rule, purchases. Purchases we should debit. So let us write purchase under debit. I already recorded here, purchase under debit 16,000. Next, return inwards. Return inwards means sales returns, students. Return inwards means sales returns. That is other name for sales returns. Return inwards is other name for sales returns. So sales returns we debit. Sales returns we debit. Okay. Let us write return inwards under debit. 400. Next, purchases. Purchases, I mentioned in the rule itself, purchase we should debit. So, under debit, I recorded purchases. 16,000. Next one is return outwards. Return outwards means purchase returns. Return outwards means purchase returns. So, purchase returns we should credit. We should credit. Purchase returns we should credit. Okay. So that is why I mentioned return outwards. Return outwards means purchase returns. So I mentioned return outwards under credit because return outwards are nothing but purchase returns. Purchase returns always we should record under credit. Next item is capital. Capital. Where it is, yeah, capital. We should credit. So capital also you record under credit. Okay, under credit. 33,800. Next one is bank OD, bank overdraft. OD means overdraft OD, bank OD means overdraft. Okay, bank overdraft is liability, students. Bank overdraft always is liability. Okay, so liabilities we should credit. So that is why bank OD is recorded under credit. Okay, and after finishing recording all these items, let us do totals. Debit total is 62,800 Credit side also 62,800. So both the sides totals are tallying. Okay. Hope this is clear for everyone. Let us discuss one more question. But before discussing, let me show answer completely, clearly. Okay.
And next I will show question also clearly once. You can see question also clearly once, and both at a time clearly once. Okay. So let us discuss next question now. Yeah, this is the next question, students. Sixth one. Prepare trial balance of Anji Reddy from the following balances. We have to prepare trial balance of Anji Reddy. Okay. So we should keep columns ready. Trial balance I have written on the top. Since date is not mentioned in the question, I am not writing date here. And debit amount, credit amount columns are ready. And here all the items are given. These all items should be recorded under proper one. Okay, these items may appear on the debit or under the credit. Let us see where actually these are going to appear. First one, transport. Transport is nothing but expenditure. It is expenditure for the business. Okay, so all expenses we have to debit. Expenses we have to debit. So here transport we should record under debit. Okay. Transport we should record under debit. Next one, capital. Capital is mentioned in the rule itself that we should credit capital. So capital should be credited, and I recorded capital under credit 28,000. Next, salaries. Salaries is expenditure for the business because salaries are paid to employees. Salaries is expenditure for the business, hence it should be debited. It should be recorded under debit. Salaries under debit. And next, cash at bank. Cash at bank is asset. Okay, cash in hand, cash at bank or assets. Assets always we should debit. That is why cash at bank I recorded under debit 8,000. Next, bank OD. Bank OD means overdraft. Bank overdraft. Bank overdraft is a liability. All liabilities we have to credit. Liabilities we have to credit. Okay. So that is why bank OD I recorded under credit. 6,000. Next is sales. Sales. It is given in the rule itself. Sales we should credit. Okay. So sales I recorded under credit 33,000. Next, debtors. Debtors are asset ma. Debtors assets. So assets we have to debit. We should record under debit. So debtors I recorded under debit 53,000. All items finished. So let us do totals both the sides. If we do totals here, debit total is 67,000 and credit total is 67,000. Both the sides totals are same. Okay. So you can see clearly. You can see the solution clearly once. If any doubts are there, you can mention in the comment section. If you understand the topic, that also you mention in the comment section. Hope this is clear. See question also once and see both at a time once. If you understand the class, like the video, share the video so that it will be useful for other students also, and subscribe it. Thank you.
Here I mentioned few questions to solve. So you can solve these questions and you see whether you will get answers or not. If you get the answer, you can mention in the comment section. If any if any doubts are there, you can mention in the comment section, and you can see the question here so that you can prepare it. First question, prepare trial balance from the following details. You have to prepare trial balance and you have to first draw format and then you have to prepare. I'll read the items one by one, but you only have to decide whether it should be recorded under debit or under credit. Okay, so that you see whether you will get answer or not. Opening stock, sales, creditors, cash, purchases, debtors, salaries, capital. This is question. You have to prepare trial balance for that by applying debit credit rule. Okay, and you should get 65,000 answer. Both the sides you should get 65,000. Prepare it and check whether you are getting or not. Let us move to next question. Second one. Prepare trial balance from the following details. I'll read the items. Capital, furniture, creditors, cash, debtors, buildings. You see the items and you record under proper one. Few items will appear under debit, few will appear under credit. You decide yourself by applying rule. And next you should get answer 2,10,000 both the sides. See whether you are getting or not. If you have any doubts, you can mention in the comment section. I will reply. And next one, third one, prepare trial balance. Again we have to prepare trial balance and you have to draw columns format first, and then you see question. I am reading the items. Bills receivable, capital, sales, machinery, bills payable, purchases, furniture. These are the items. So with these items you prepare trial balance by applying rules, debit and credit rule of trial balance, and you should get 1,47,600 as answer. Okay, if any doubts you can mention in the comment section and I will reply for that. And if you are able to understand how to prepare trial balance by watching this class, you like the video, share the video so that it will be useful for other students also, and subscribe the channel. Thank you.